I'm back again with another video. I'm sorry I'm late, guys. I'm sure a lot of you have given up, and you probably think, they stole that guy. He was supposed to log in now. He was supposed to start the stream, and then I had to do a couple of other things. I apologize. I'm back now. Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. Ah. Whew. This is another one, guys. This is another tricky one. Mm. So in this particular fight, it's kind of interesting because Kai Kara France is the better striker, um, which is honestly obvious, and Pantoja is the better grappler. My biggest concern in this particular fight is that City Kickboxing and actually Australia, I think they've been working with Craig Jones. And Craig Jones, I feel like, is doing this amazing thing. Craig Jones does this amazing thing where he basically makes the smaller guys train with heavier grapplers, and this somehow prepares a lot of these athletes to actually grapple a little bit better. So, which is what I think happened with Alexander Volkanovski when he was fighting. What do you call him? Islam Makhachev, which is what I think happened when Jack Della Maddalena was fighting Bilal Mohammed. Um, which is what I think is going to happen when Kai Kara France fights Alexandre Pantoja. Kai Kara France historically has a pretty decent takedown defense, and in all honesty, it honestly worries me because my official pick and my subscribers' official pick is Alexandre Pantoja, right? Oh, it's kind of honestly hard to actually predict this particular fight, largely because of the age of Pantoja and the contrasting styles. Pantoja has a 56% finishing rate. Kai Kara France has a 60% finishing rate. Not too big of a difference, which is expected for flyweight. Volume wise, I think both of them pretty much throws an equal amount of volume. Um, I feel like technical striking, I would give the advantage to Kai Kara France. Obviously, he's coming in from a kickboxing background. He's coming in from city kickboxing, so obviously he's going to have the advantage as far as striking goes. Um, as far as the grappling, offensive grappling, I would obviously give it to Alessandro Pantoja, but his takedown defense is not particularly great. And like I said, Craig Jones is particularly good at preparing fighters. He's been doing really wonderful things with Australian fighters, which he has actually produced a few champions. I don't know why it's not working for Israel Adesanya, but people like Jack Della Maddalena, I've already mentioned, have successfully trained with Craig Jones, it seems, and it has worked for him. Alexander Volkanovski and all these other guys, right? And I genuinely think it's going to be a little bit more difficult to take down Kai Kara France than a lot of people are anticipating it will be. Um, I genuinely feel like what do you call him? Um, Kai Kara France is going to be able to avoid getting taken down, and as a result, he's going to actually find a way um, to get the fight to stay on the feet and on the feet. Even Brandon Moreno was having problems with Kai Kara France. A lot of people were saying, well, what do you call him? Steve Ursig is going to knock out Kai Kara France. And I was like, nah, that's not going to happen. I went on a deep dive and I explained my reasons for picking Kai Kara France. When everyone was on Steve Ursig and they were like, oh my God, he arguably won that fight against Pantoja. He's going to knock out Kai Kara France, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. And if we're going to do MMA mats, I mean, Pantoja went to a decision with Steve Erceg. Kai Kara France knocked him out. That's a really big difference. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. I guess we'll just see how it plays out. I've been notorious in saying that I don't feel like Pantoja is going to hold on to his title for any longer. I predicted that his title reign would end probably this year, or latest next year. And I think this is the fight that could actually potentially end the Pantoja's title reign. In all honesty, I could see Kai Kara-France actually winning this fight. I could see him defending the takedowns. I could see him actually having success on the feet. Um, like I said, the Brandon Moreno was having a lot of trouble up until he landed that good liver shot. That actually ended up giving him the fight. But yeah, I honestly think Pantoja might potentially lose, but I still feel like he's decent enough to actually get this one done. I think on the feed it won't be too one-sided, even though I would give the technical striking advantage to, even though I'd give the technical striking advantage to what do you call him, Kai Kara France. I still feel like on the feed it might be a little bit back and forth. Kai Kara France is going to have the reach advantage. Um, Defensively, like I said, on the feed it might be a little bit closer. On the ground, it's gonna get tricky because if Kai Kara France has been training like as heavily as I anticipate he was, I would honestly see a situation where um, Pantoja basically somehow gets the upper hand in this particular fight. No, not Pantoja. Kai Kara France actually finds a way to actually reverse Pantoja because Pantoja does not have the best grappling defense. Historically, he doesn't have the best grappling defense, which is honestly quite sad. But I mean, it's normal in most cases for people who are pretty confident in their grappling abilities to actually not have the best takedown defense. So if Pantoja can't take this fight to the ground, it's gonna get very interesting. But Pantoja has really good cardio, so I could see him, even if he can't finish the fight early, I could see him just tiring out Kai Kara France, wrestling him over and over again, even if it's not successful with the takedowns. I could see him just wrestling and wrestling and wrestling and wrestling just to get Kai Kara France tired, and we could see a situation. Either it's probably, especially at flyweight, it's probably going to go to a decision. Yo, what up, man? Welcome to the stream. It's probably going to go to a decision, but I don't know. Kai Kara France has the ability to knock anyone out, and yeah, it's gonna be a tricky fight. Even though I'm officially picking Alexandre Pantoja, obviously because he's tested, he has beaten some of the best fighters in this particular division. I think he's close to cleaning out the whole entire division. In all honesty, so I feel like Pantoja has been doing pretty decently, but I feel like he's on the later. He's at the end of his title reign. I honestly felt like Kai Kara France could win this particular fight. If if I was using my old prediction strategy, I would have picked Kai Kara France to win this one, right? But I changed my prediction strategy, and I'm going to stick to it because so far so good. But I honestly feel like in this particular fight, this might be the end of Pantoja's title reign. Who do you guard for Imavov versus Boralho? I haven't researched that particular fight, but I would go with Imavov unofficially. Um, so so yeah, I think that concludes my breakdown for this particular fight. I apologize for being late, guys. My regular, but the people who are normally on the live stream are not on the live stream. But I appreciate everyone who joined me. They can watch the stream a bit later on. I'm going to break down the last fight right now, which is Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. If you want to join me, let's go to that particular fight. But yeah, officially, I'm picking Alexandre Pantoja. But I generally feel like Kai Kara France has a massive opportunity to actually get this one done. He has the takedown defense to do it. He has the striking to do it. Um, and Pantoja has had so many wars that I don't know if he's going to actually be able to. get this one done, especially because when he strikes, he wins via volume, not because he is hurting a lot of these dudes. But I mean, he did really. He looked sensational against Kai Asakura, but it could also mean that Kai Asakura was not even top five level. Probably that's why Pantoja looked unbelievable in that fight. I mean, he looked like Marab in the fight against Kai Asakura. So let's see how that one goes. But I honestly could see a situation where Kai Kara France actually gets it done. But I'm still going with Alexandre Pantoja. This is probably the riskiest fight on the card. Um, let's go to the next fight. I love and appreciate all of you. Until next time, or rather, let's go to the next fight. Deuces.